Hello, MacLaren. I am talking to you today about the unique artistic style known as Graeco-Buddhist art, a fusion of Hellenistic style as well as Buddhist style artwork that occurred in just one part of the world, a region known as Gandhara. So to give some background to it, it starts with Alexander the Great, who was, of course, the great conqueror from Macedonia, who between 333 and 323 conquered all of Greece and Persia, Asia Minor, Egypt, as well as large parts of Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent. His conquest spread Greek culture and Greek artwork throughout the region that he conquered, and the period after he died is known as the Hellenistic era, because all throughout these areas, the culture and artwork were infused with a Greek tinge, and so it's called Hellenistic. On the other side of his empire, one of the main effects of the wars that he fought in northern India was that it brought a lot of instability to the region that actually cleared the way for a powerful new dynasty to arise, known as the Maurya dynasty. It began with a man named Chandragupta Maurya, who conquered, as you can see, nearly all of the Indian subcontinent, as well as much of the Indus River Valley and beyond, in what became known as the Maurya Empire. His grandson, a very famous king known as Asoka, who was known for bringing even more prosperity and stability to his grandfather's empire, also converted the empire to Buddhism in the 3rd century BC. Now, this was a time when Buddhist art was still in a very rudimentary stage and did not often show lifelike images or representations at all of the Buddha or of other Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, people who have achieved enlightenment. That began to change around the 1st century AD, and by this time the Maurya Empire has fallen apart, and in this region that we're looking at, the rulers are the Kushans, and so it's known as the Kushan Empire. And in this period of time, Buddhist artwork and Buddhist iconography began to incorporate many human images and representations of Buddhas and of Bodhisattvas. And so depending on where in the world, which part of the Buddhist world you were in, this artwork took on different styles. And in this region known as Gandhara, because it was a center of trade between East and West, the Romans, Parthians, Chinese, and Indians, many of them passed through Gandhara. It adopted quite a lot of Buddhist and Greek influences. The region itself has many archaeological sites and artistic finds, and just to look at a few of them, one of them is known as the Standing Buddha from sometime between the 1st and 3rd centuries AD. And you can see it's a representation of the Buddha, and certainly has some motifs that indicate that it is, like the dot on his forehead is what is known as the urna, or the spiritual third eye, which is portrayed on people in Buddhist iconography who have achieved enlightenment. But also there's some very Hellenistic features. For one, if you look at his robe and the folds of his robe, it looks very similar in style to a Roman toga. His wavy hair is more reminiscent of Greek depictions of Apollo, or even of Alexander the Great himself, than you would see in other depictions in this region. The circle behind him is known as a nimbus, which is a symbol of a deity or a deified persona that actually it's a symbol that exists in Greek as well as Parthian and Chinese and Indian art, and will even later be picked up in Christian iconography. Another example we can look at, this is a statue of two Indian deities known as Harati and Panchika. But looking at them, from an artistic perspective and looking at the symbolism in this work, these two people actually bear quite a lot of similarity to the Greek gods of Dionysus and of Agathe. And Dionysus, of course, was the Greek god of wine and of libations. And Agathe, particularly Agathe Tyche, was a popular goddess in Hellenistic times. She was a goddess of plenty. Her name means literally, right, a bountiful fate. And so she was often worshipped or invoked in times of plenty, or when people were wishing for um, for prosperity. And some of the things that are similar motifs, this pine cone that Hariti is holding is often a symbol that Dionysus is depicted with, and this horn that Panchika is holding is the cornucopia, which is the horn of plenty, and that is something that Agathe Tyche is frequently portrayed with. Hariti is a god who is a ruler over nature spirits, which can be very similarly interpreted as to the various nymphs and spirits that often accompany Dionysus. And Panchika is a goddess who oversees childbirth and child rearing and pregnancy. So these are just two examples of this very unique style of art. There are lots more, and of course, Buddhist art is a vast, vast category that includes many different styles in the many different regions where that religion is practiced. That's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.